My name is Shawna Reed, and if I love wrestling, then you love wrestling, we love wrestling.
Welcome to the We Love Wrestling spot. My name is Terry. I'm with Maddy from Top Rope Squishy, and today we have someone who is trained by Cody Hawk. She's a pro wrestler. I saw her at a Square Circle Expo. I can say it's very interesting the way she portrays herself, and I like it. We are with Miss Shawna Reed. How are you doing today?
I'm really good. How are you guys?
Good. I'm good myself, Shawna. We're going to get into some other questions, but I'm going to go ahead and ask my first question to get it out the way. Why do you love wrestling, or what started your love for wrestling?
I started when I was about 8 years old. My brother got me into it by us playing the video games. I never really realized it was a real thing. And then my brother would quiz me on, when we're playing the video games, he would quiz me on the dudes that would show up in between the matches for your games. And when I would get into that, I was like, oh, this is a real thing. And so I ended up, tuning into Raw and SmackDown and stuff like that, and falling in love with the sport and the storylines and stuff like that, and certain people. And then the rest is pretty much history.
Who's those certain people that you fell in love with?
At the beginning, it was Shawn Michaels, Undertaker, Kane. Those were my top three. It's really it's touchy right now, but I'm not gonna lie, Chris Benoit was one of my first, and so he was actually the first wrestler I ever learned or knew who he was. Not gonna lie. So it's a touchy subject, but that's the truth.
He was one of my favorites too. So
yeah, no, my fiance has wrestled with him and helped train him. So it's
what can you do?
Right,
it's one of those things.
Yeah, it's an unfortunate circumstance, a horrible thing that happened. But no matter what, you can't deny the man's wrestling ability.
It's true.
True. That's very true.
Facts.
So let's talk about this though. Triple threat match. Shawn Michaels, Undertaker, and Kane. Who wins?
This is just to get back at me for the whole Alex Gracia versus, isn't it? My you wouldn't give me your prediction. Why would I give you that?
Ooh.
So earlier before we started,
triple down, count out of 10, no one wins.
Oh, okay. So earlier before we started, we was talking about Maddy. She did her Top Rope Squishy Mission Pro predictions, and I told her she didn't predict this match. So they trying to get me to do my predictions, which I never do. I'd be like, oh man, I'm just excited for the event. I can't wait to see it happen. Before we get into Mission Pro, though, I have to ask you, Shawna. You have this moniker, a nickname, the daughter of 1,000 maniacs. Can I get some insight on that?
So I've been in the business about 6 years. I've kind of gone through. This is my third kind of moniker. My very first one was a Stubborn Angel, and I just kind of graduated out of that, and I was the Pretty Little Psycho for a few years. But then, I found out that there's this girl. I don't know. I really don't know where she's at, but I guess she's been doing the Pretty Little Psycho gimmick for a while. So I decided to, I didn't know her. Didn't know that was a thing. But so I graduated into the Daughter of 1,000 Maniacs. I was also trained by Dustin Rhodes, so he kind of helped me come up with that. Because my whole character is a freaking crazy schoolgirl, a schizophrenic schoolgirl, that talks to herself. And so I'm a huge Freddy Krueger fan and horror movie fan.
Yes.
And he is the son of 100 maniacs.
Yes, he is.
I was like, I'm going to be the daughter of 1,000 maniacs.
That's exactly what I was going to ask you. Was it Freddy Krueger related?
It was. I'm going to up Freddy Krueger,
Yes.
So let's go ahead and get Maddy in here because you said Dustin Rhodes and one of your trainers, and you guys are talking about Freddie. Shout out to Nightmare on Elm Street, you know?
Yeah. I have the whole collection. I love the Nightmare on Elm Street collection. I'm a huge horror fan.
Yes, me too. Huge horror mark.
See? Terry, you should get down on the horror movies. I was actually going to ask you where the Pretty Little Psycho nickname came from, but since you've graduated from that name, I'm going to move on to a different question. So you've been at a lot of promotions. You've wrestled in a lot of places. I was looking like through some of your matches that I hadn't seen, and I was like, my God, there's so many, you know. So at this point, what promotion, or is there any promotion that you haven't wrestled at that you've been wanting to get into?
Honestly, like GCW is one, but my main one was Mission Pro, and I get to wrestle there this Saturday. So, you know, I would say like I've gotten very fortunate to be able to wrestle for AEW, being able to wrestle for WWE, and a few extra spots. So like I've gotten very lucky to be able to do those two, and those were like dream come trues, you know. But like so now that I'm like looking like independence, Mission was my next choice, and then GCW. So getting to wrestle Rosa on AEW was an information that I was super excited for. I was like, yes, finally. Yes. So that this Saturday, and I'm pretty excited about it.
Yes, Mission Pro is a great promotion to wrestle for, so I'm excited for you. So far, with all the opponents that you've had, who's been he's promoting Mission Pro. Who's been the toughest opponent, would you say, to date for you? If you can pick.
Let's see. Male or female?
Either. Because I know you've done intergender wrestling, so.
Let's see. I'd probably have to pick either Rosa or male-wise, there's this guy here in Cincinnati that I've wrestled twice. And he's so freaking talented, and he's great. And we've had 2 great matches together, but he's super tough. He consistently gets hurt because he takes stupid-ass bumps and doesn't care about his own well-being. But his name's Ryan Michaels, and he's great. And he's once again currently hurt. Like, that's the running joke.
Oh, he's injured.
Yeah, the man that, like, he'll be good for, like, 3 weeks, and he'll, like, break your bone.
Terry, why are you shaking? Yeah.
So I would say those 2 are pretty. They're like pretty tough opponents.
I know who she's talking about, and he is already. So.
Oh, that's why he's like.
I love him. He's one of my best in the entire world. I fun of him to this day because I'm also a nurse. So every time he comes back from being in a match, I'm like, all right, what do I need to look at for my match?
If you're him, you are a good friend to have.
Like there was one when he separated his shoulder in a match, like legit the shoulder, like the bone was up, and he's like laying on the ground in the back, and I was up next, and everybody's like, Shawna, come check on it. And I'm like, so I'm over there trying to check on him, trying to get ice, trying to wrap it. I'm hearing my music going. And I'm like just stabilizing him until I'm like, I'll be back in 15 minutes. Stay here.
I was gonna say, that was one of my questions. What's the craziest wrestling experience you've had? Would you say that's one of them?
No, because I've gotten pretty used to once people find out I'm a nurse on the show, and they're like, hey Shawna, this dude needs stitched up. Hey Shawna, this dude needs to see if he's concussed.
Oh God.
Yeah, so once people find that out, it's kind of like, it's almost like a normal routine now. Like I get booked to go out there and wrestle, but I'm also booked as like your EMT.
So you're like double duty every time you're wrestling.
Pretty much. I mean, I'm happy I'm there to help, but I'm also like, when I don't want anybody to ever get hurt. So it's actually like really, really easy and like relaxing when no one's hurt.
you're not going to be working afterwards on
Right.
taking care of people, triage.
Exactly.
So what has been the craziest experience you've had in wrestling? Even if it wasn't like on a show, whether it was training or
Something kind of just happened a few weeks ago at Squared Circle Expo that is it was part of my I legit had this exact nightmare when I was a child. And it happened. And that is for the freaking boogeyman to chase me around a building and tell me I'm he's like, Shawna Reed, she's so beautiful. Oh my God, she's so beautiful. And legit, he chased me around the convention while I'm screaming like a little child, begging, almost tears, begging him to stop.
The boogeyman, was it like a stalker?
No, it's the shoot boogeyman from
She was talking about at the event that was here that I was at. So legit, the boogeyman was chasing her around the hotel.
The convention, yeah. My friends knew I was terrified of him, and they know, because I was a guest there. I was a vendor, and they went up and told him. So I'm doing another podcast, and all of a sudden I see over the guy's shoulder the boogeyman starting to creep up, and I'm like, oh hell no. And I legit start running, and he starts chasing me.
That just makes it worse.
Yes, I've had this exact nightmare as a child. Because afterwards, he was super sweet, and Marty is he's the best for that gimmick. He's great. He's amazing. But legit, as the child in me came out, that was PTSD, everything. He's you're selling that really good, and I'm like, not a sell.
Yeah, I thought it was all planned, but now knowing that you was legit,
she legit scared.
I go on ghost hunts. I wrestle. I do all this shit. I watch horror movies, but the freaking boogeyman chasing me around the freaking no.
I'm like that with clowns, so yeah. I get it.
Oh man, that's hilarious.
That's hilarious. Oh my God. All right. So so do you fan out for any wrestler?
Do I freak out?
Yeah. Do you have a favorite that you would give me some names?
Multiple names. That I think at first there was one. I actually, I was backstage at WWE doing an extra spot, and I did mark out for Mickie James because she was one of my favorites when I was a little girl. But I went up to her and was like, I'm gonna be all calm, cool, and collected. And I actually walked away and had my own little fangirl moment. I used to be head over heels in love with Dean Ambrose, John Mox now. Mm-hmm. But then I started dating his trainer, and now we've hung out a few times. Me and Mox have hung out a few times, and I'm like, all right, I now know him as a person, so never mind. I'm still waiting for the day I meet AJ Lee, but I'm also not waiting for the day I meet AJ Lee because I will probably cry in front of her.
That's so sweet.
But I'm not gonna lie. The podcast I do, and I talk about Thunder Rosa. She was on my bucket list forever when I started wrestling, and so to get to wrestle her on AEW was a huge deal. I inwardly was marking out and inwardly was freaking out because I'm I don't want to mess this up. And so that was a huge deal. So, but now it's I'm getting to know her as a person and getting now to work her show. And it's really cool. So.
Yeah, she's a cool person. I got to quickly meet her one day at a Mission Pro show. So yeah, I try not to fan out, but I couldn't help myself.
Yes.
It was tough. It was tough. So let me ask you, when you were starting out, You probably wish there was some advice that someone would have given you. So do you have any advice for like people who are starting out that don't really know much about wrestling? Something you wish somebody would have told you probably when you were starting out?
It's hard as hell. It is the most painful thing you're ever gonna go through. But it sucks to say this, but stick with it, and in like a month and a half to 2 months, it's kind of sick, but your body does get used to the pain. Like people think that that mat's soft, and it's not. It's steel ring post, steel poles under there, hardwood. It sucks, and it's unforgiving. The ring is unforgiving, but like if you can push past that pain, it'll be so freaking worth it. Like the travel, like what you get to see, the people you get to meet, you even get to wrestle some of your childhood heroes. Like it's worth it.
It's worth it in the end.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like you build a callus, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like,
So
I'm terrified to have any doctor X-ray my back. I will not have a doctor X-ray my back. It's probably so bad.
Oh wow! And you're a nurse, so you can probably like tell when you've done some damage.
Oh, I've had plenty of injuries, and I probably injured right now, and I'm just refusing to believe it.
Oh my God, that's crazy. I mean, you have to be dedicated. You have to love the craft to stick to it.
It's a full-time thing, like if you're wanting to make it. Like I've missed funerals, I've missed birthday parties, I've missed weddings, I've missed graduations, all this stuff, like just to go wrestle. And even like, to travel 16 hours to Texas for a day to wrestle for 3 hours and then get back on a flight tomorrow morning. It takes a lot out of you, and relationships are hard. Like it's hard to find someone that understands that. And so I've been lucky enough to, find someone like that. But I mean, if you can get through all that, it really is worth it. It's emotionally hard. It's physically hard, but I promise you it is worth it.
I mean, you guys put up such great shows. People really do appreciate what you guys do. At least real fans appreciate what you guys do. I hate when I hear people say it's fake. I don't know. It just drives me insane.
Oh, me too.
So who's somebody that you haven't wrestled yet that you want to wrestle? I mean, you've wrestled so many people. I can't imagine there's someone yet.
I really want to wrestle. Let's see. I mean, my dream match, I'm not going to lie, is against AJ Lee. But I don't think she'll ever get back in the business, so that's the thing. I think Peyton Royce's name now is Cassie Lee or whatever. I think, once her 90 days is up, she's going to start wrestling again. So maybe at some point our paths will cross, and that'll be exciting. Let's see, who else do I want to wrestle? I really actually want to wrestle Nyla Rose.
Yes.
Or like Sunny, like Nyla and Sunny. Those are my two like bigger ones that I want to step in the ring with.
That would be really interesting to see.
Yeah,
they're really good in the ring. So you against them, get a good show. Make it happen, people. Make it happen.
It happened.
So this is my last question. So the pandemic affected people differently. It's practically over at this point. Everything is pretty much opening up. So where do you see yourself 5 years from now?
Hopefully, signed to a major company. That's the ultimate goal. Or I've been really like indulging in training, like actually being like a trainer. The school that's here in Cincinnati that I go to, I'm actually the assistant trainer now, and I do the kids class. We have a kids class, and all the way from 5 years old to 14 years old, and I'm the head trainer of that class. So it's like,
it's excellent.
I've really been like enjoying that part of it. I never really entered wrestling to ever be a trainer, but then like when people have, trusted me to do that, it's like, oh, this is actually kind of fun. And when you watch somebody who they don't ever get it, and then like the second they get it and their eyes light up, it's a huge like thing. When I was even in Dustin's school, like when he was doing like exit interviews, he put me in charge of the class. And so here I am like, doing that. And I don't know. So hopefully sign to a major company as a wrestler, or just, you know, continuing to wrestle around the world and get my name out there, and then potentially, you know, get more involved in helping train people.
I think that's a great plan, especially when you're, you know, when you're a wrestler and you're a trainer, you have two things going on. So you can always, you know, this, if you're injured or something's going on, you can do this, you know what I mean, with the training. Yeah. So that's excellent. Well, I can't wait to see more of you. I'm definitely going to be watching your match on in Mission Pro through title match, because I won't be in Texas, but I look forward to seeing you win.
Oh, thank you. Me too.
Yay!
Oh, did you just make your pick, Maddy?
I already told you I was going for Shawna Reed. That was
Mm.
the first thing I said. That's the first thing I said.
Smart human being. Get on her level.
Oh.
Thank you.
Okay. All right.
There you go, Trey. Now you know.
Let me get away from this Mission Pro stuff. Let's go back to the Square Circle Expo. You know, let's leave that alone.
Oh God.
Oh, you're really little. Yes.
Hey, Jimmy Wang Yang with never mind.
I don't tell Jimmy that I found his neck. It's like
where he never mind.
Breaker, I looked at him like stop for a second, like I'm kind of marking out for that bump he just did, but then I'm also like kind of concerned. Is the man alive?
Hey, that bump was great. I was like, oh my goodness, that move, just sell it. But are you bringing that intensity to Mission Pro? Because, you know, we've been following Mission Pro from the beginning. Alice Gracia, you know, she's on a little streak right now. Came back to Mission Pro, beat Marty Bell on the last show. You know, she got a little momentum. Are you ready for that?
Oh yeah, I'm totally ready for it. I mean, reason I went down to Dustin Rhodes' school was to work on my intensity and to work on that kind of stuff. So now that I feel way more confident in it, like it's a whole new Shawna Reed that no one, you know, saw before. So I'm definitely ready for it.
Ooh. Yes. Now in this tournament, let's say you were to get past the first round, but as Maddy said, you win the first round matchup, you go into the second round. It's a lot of other people in this tournament. Is anybody that you've been looking at that you might be a little worried about? No. I mean, not worried, but
that's right. She said no.
But anybody else you might be looking at in this tournament?
No.
She came to win. That's it.
Yeah, no. Right. Let me rephrase that. There's women in the tournament that I'm looking forward to working. I'm looking forward to wrestling, and then I'm looking forward to beating. So we'll just see what happens.
That's it.
So if you win your match, you'll either take on Jasmine Allure or Gypsy Mac. I was going to say Silac, but Gypsy Mac. Okay, Shawna. I mean, since I'm in the Midwest, you living in the Midwest, I feel like you'll be representing the Midwest. So make sure that you win.
I will.
I love it.
Now let's go back to earlier. You said I need to get in a scary movie. So Shawna, what's your 3 favorite scary movies since that shit came? You know?
You know what? It is so Nightmare on Elm Street, The Shining, and then I'm like really, and I don't know if you would make this like a horror film, but it came out in the last few years. It's called Split.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
That movie's great.
Like, I don't know if that would technically be horror. I feel like it would be, but like that movie just was freaking amazing. And I don't know if that guy had gotten any Oscars or Emmys or whatever, but that man they casted as the lead was the most perfect person ever in the world for that role.
James McAvoy.
Yes.
He's a great actor. I love that movie.
Oh my gosh, like that's actually what I'm going after with this Daughter of a Thousand Maniacs character.
Yes. Edit. I love it.
Yes. So
Yeah. Have you seen Glass?
no, I haven't. That was actually on one of the ones that like I want to see it because I know that whole like all of them come together for that.
Like, Unbreakable.
Yeah.
Glass Split.
Like the extended scene after Split, and I'm like the whole movie theater popped for it.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Yes.
Put that into your watch list.
I haven't seen it.
Now, one last question. I just want to describe to you this Mission Pro atmosphere. The fans are rowdy. It's an outside venue. Pinball's Kingdom. Inside, it does have some arcade games, but this crowd does have favorites. Are you at all worried about the crowd? You know, the Texas crowd being with Alex since she's from the area.
No, not at all. Because like I've seen when people have put up Shawna versus Alex, who they win, and I'm not gonna. I've seen everybody be like, "Oh, it's Alex all the way. Oh, Alex this. Oh, Alex this. Oh my gosh, the Pink Dream. Oh my gosh." And so I've already seen that, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going in there. I know I'm a heel, so that's gonna be easy as hell. 1, 2. You know, she is from Texas, so I've already assumed it. 3, I'm very used to being an underdog. Like I'm so used to being an underdog. So, and I think with my character, it'll be enough to get over with that. But I'm honestly not worried.
That's it.
That's truthfully, that's the first thing I thought when I saw it, because I looked, I said, Shawna Reed. I know this name for some reason. Then I was like, is this the same Shawna Reed that was at Square Circle Expo? And see the match, and I'm like, oh, she's gonna eat that crowd alive because I know how they are, and
they're rowdy.
You're gonna have some fun on Saturday, yes. Guys, if you can't be there, oh, sorry, go ahead.
So just whoops in advance because I tend to talk a lot in the ring.
It's gonna be a fun show, guys. If you're in the Buda, Austin area, Pinball's Kingdom, you can go to missionpro.net, get some tickets. Show starts at 7. If you're not going to be there, Title Match Network, you go and click the live tab. It'll say Mission Pro, keep them talking. Go ahead, watch. If you're not signed up, you get 2 weeks for free if you sign up. All right. Now, Shawna, our last thing that we do here before we get out of here. Oh, got to ask her this. Also, Maddy, I always ask this question randomly to people. I lean in and I say, Shawna, The Rock or Stone Cold?
Stone Cold.
I like that about her because she said it quick. Other people be like, oh, man, I don't know what to...
I said Stone Cold, too. Even though I'm a huge Rock fan also.
I am, too, but I don't know. Stone Cold just has my heart. Like, I connect to Stone Cold in so many levels.
If she didn't say Stone Cold, it would have been an issue, but I felt that one coming. Shawna, our last thing we do here, this is your moment. We call this the put yourself over moment. This is where you tell the people your social media, any things you got coming up, any ways they can support you. We just want you to put yourself over to the people.
Okay. Well, obviously I'll be on Mission Pro this Saturday in Buda, Texas. But you can follow me on Facebook. I have a like page, Shawna Reed. I have a Twitter, Shawna. I think it's Shawna Reed 93. Instagram is Shawna_Reed. I totally am not ashamed that I have a freaking awesome TikTok, and it's like I think it's either wrestler Shawna Reed or Shawna Reed wrestler, one of the two. I don't know. You can follow me on YouTube. Just type in my name. And then we do a YouTube show every Wednesday at 7:30 for Future Great Wrestling. And I'm on that every week. So check it out.
Ooh, Future Grade, they out here. You said a YouTube show?
Yep, it's every Wednesday at 7:00.
I'm on it. I'm on it. Sorry, let me go ahead and subscribe right
I
now.
just subscribed to official Shawna Reed.
Boom.
I guess I'll subscribe to, I don't be out here. Official Shawna Reed. Ooh, $4.97. Shout out. Subscribe to official Shawna Reed. Maddy, tell them your YouTube because I know you're trying to get your numbers up too.
Follow me at Top Rope Squishy on YouTube. Content drops Monday, Tuesdays, and live on Thursdays.
Follow us on YouTube. We LUV Wrestling. You're here watching. If you want to see the podcast form, go to Spotify, Google, Anchor. We're all over the place. I will put up the podcast more. And and we're gonna go ahead and get out of here because they over here. I don't know what they're doing. But we'd like to thank Maddy from Top Row Squishy for joining us. We'd like to thank Shawna Reed for joining us. You can see her again, Mission Pro, this Saturday. Watch it on the Title Match Network. Sign up 2 weeks for free. It's going to be a great show. And, I'm Terry Trady. And like I always say, if I love wrestling and you love wrestling, then we love wrestling. It's too sweet for the coaches.